Hi there, I'm Logan Medish, and this is High Caliber History. In the final months of World War II, on January 26, 1945, Lieutenant General George S. Patton Jr. uttered the famous phrase, "In my opinion, the M1 rifle is the greatest battle implement ever devised." Well, actually, he didn't utter it, he wrote it. We've all heard Patton's praise of the M1 Garand rifle. Many World War II veterans and M1 enthusiasts alike are often heard echoing Patton's words, but few know the context in which the comment was made. It is the first line in a letter from Patton on his official Third Army Office of the Commanding General letterhead to Major General Levin H. Campbell, Jr., who was the War Department's Chief of Ordnance. John Garand's rifle was officially designated as the M1 and was adopted as the standard U.S. rifle in 1936. The first production rifle was successfully proofed, function checked, and accurized on July 21, 1937. The Army accepted the first run of guns in 1938. By January of 1940, Springfield Armory was producing 100 rifles per day. Remember, this was still technically peacetime in the United States. Production peaked in January 1944 with 122,001 M1s produced in 31 days. That's 3,936 rifles per day, or 164 rifles an hour. In just a few short years, an hour's production had eclipsed a previous day's production by more than 1.5 times. The Garand semi-automatic rifle wasn't Patton's only object of adoration in the letter. He went on to say that his admiration for ordnance products does not stop with the M1 rifle. He goes on to say that the United States machine guns, mortars, artillery, and tanks are without equal. High praise from Patton was not to be taken lightly. He was just as feared and revered during his lifetime as his legacy is today. The man knew his way around a rifle. From his days at VMI at the turn of the 20th century through his service in World War II, Patton had seen a number of different rifle designs issued to soldiers. No doubt he knew the pros and cons of each advancement and subsequent adoption. Perhaps that's why this letter, which was no doubt considered by many to be just another piece of official daily correspondence, was preserved. Had it been discarded, military historians and gun collectors the world over would have been denied one of the most famous quotes of the 20th century. Of course, Patton knew that high-quality weaponry was useless if it was not used properly by well-trained soldiers, or, as Patton referred to them in the letter, unconquerable veterans. It was in their hands that the M1 Garand and the other ordnance tools of their trade would ensure the utter destruction of the armed forces of our enemies. In true Patton style, he made sure to lay on thick praise of the men under his command. The recipient of Patton's letter, Major General Campbell, knew his way around ordnance of all kinds. He had served in many capacities at ordnance facilities throughout the country since 1918. Before becoming the Chief of Ordnance, he spent time at the Office of the Chief of Ordnance in Washington, D.C., Stockton Ordnance Depot in California, Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, and Rock Island Arsenal in Illinois. Clearly, the War Department had the right man for this job. Patton knew that it was under Campbell's guidance and direction that enough M1 rifles and other ordnance were produced in such quantities that allowed his unconquerable veterans to cause utter destruction to the enemy. During World War II, all the aspects of Army ordnance boomed, becoming a $30 billion a year industry. Campbell retired in 1946, but he didn't sit idle. He took a job as the Executive Vice President for International Harvester, a well-known producer of farm equipment. Interestingly enough, International Harvester went on to produce 337,623 M1 Garand rifles between 1952 and 1956. Now, Campbell had retired from the company by the time production began, but the connection there is still quite intriguing. Today, International Harvester marked M1s are highly prized by collectors because of the overall low production quantity. By the time World War II ended, just months after Patton's praise, Springfield Armory's total production numbered 3,526,922 M1 rifles from 1932 to 1945. Records indicate that Winchester produced a total of 513,880 M1 rifles between December 1940 and June 1945. Between just those two producers of the guns, their combined World War II production totaled 4,040,802 rifles. That is a lot of battle implements. With numbers like that, and the military results to back it up, it's easy to see why Patton and untold scores of World War II veterans continue to heap the same kind of praise on John Garand's rifle. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit something about Patton's famous battle implement phrase. And if you enjoyed the content, please share it out to someone who you think might also like it. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're not. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.